Hey, everybody. I think we're live.
Yes.
As usual,
Please let us know if there are any audio or video issues.
it's been a little bit of a scramble. I thought I was going to have all evening to get everything cleaned up and squared away.
Donald Trump threw a wrench in that.
That's right. I had to work on some. We had to deal with the tariffs. Oh, boy. Those Nerf tariffs are wild. We have, and I'm just saying this so that he knows, we have Not Nuff Nerf waiting in the wings. He's in his green room. We've given him a big bowl of M&Ms. No brown ones?
No brown ones, yeah.
No brown. So we have him all squared away. We're super excited to have him on. I'm going to enable that in a second. On his image preview, it kind of looked like his head was on his desk. I hope he's alive. Oh, no, his head's up. All right, good. So, yeah, welcome to Friday Night Foam. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
This is attempt number 3.
Yeah. We had to cancel a couple times. I'm going to do my unprofessional check with the chat. How's the audio, friendly people? Because I couldn't, these mics, these are doing nothing. We are using phone audio. My computer just would not grab the mics.
Video and audio are good.
You know what? That's all I need to hear. So we're going to talk tonight about a few fun things. We're going to get Not Nuff Nerf on here. Super excited. He was actually the second guest to ever come on Friday Night Foam.
Yes.
With American Foam being the first, but he set his channel on fire and got out of here. So going back to the beginning, maybe we'll just do all the same guests over again in a row.
How's everyone doing now?
I think everyone's doing good.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, we're going to talk tonight a little bit about some news that's coming up in the hobby, maybe about Maryland and our plans there. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk a little bit, especially with Not Enough, because I know he does a lot of this too, just about just some of those tricky things around being sent blasters and sponsoring them and doing the videos and all that. Right. He doesn't know that we wanted to talk about that because we have not prepped that poor guy at all. But he's flexible. You've seen him. He's good. Let's get him in here. That is the screen with the chat on it. And let's go boop. And I'm going to enable him. Hey!
What's going on?
You are enabled. This is great. So we have some new software over here too. So we're doing a few things new as well. That's all right. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we're still all getting paid the same.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Hopefully out in internet
that must have been the first time I use any kind of new software, and it works like on the first go.
Restream does seem to work pretty well. Just has those limitations around like HD is not very high. It's a little bit. Some things are a little bit finicky, but you know what? This is probably easier than using OBS and going through a bunch of driver errors and then having to do a screen capture of a Skype call. Like, this is probably better. So what's new? How you doing?
You know what's crazy? I was just talking to my girlfriend today, and I was like, it's actually been on the nose, I think, maybe a couple days plus or minus. It's 2 years since my first, and I only think I had one with you guys, right? Friday Night Foam.
Yep.
What the heck happened to time? Like time just gets away.
Yeah, I don't know.
Since COVID, it's like you blink and it's 3 years. You blink again, it's another 4. It's like,
yeah, 100%. Like my channel anniversary was like 3 years in the summer. So it'll be like, it'll be 4 years this year of like doing this silly stuff. And I was collecting and stuff a bunch before that. Like that's wild.
I got an 18-month-old.
Insane.
You do have an 18-month-old. You didn't have that when we started streaming. So
yeah, like I said,
like the stream.
Yes.
2 years. 2 years since our first stream together. Wow.
Well, we'll raise up our non-alcoholic drinks.
A warning. I should have grabbed something.
Well, these are we won't talk about what they are so we don't get shut down.
This just good stuff for you. Multivitamins and all that.
That's right. I'm gonna go up to. I want to bring. There is a way I can bring the chat into this screen here.
Yeah,
so
let me
click that button
on my screen as well.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna catch up on the chat a little bit here, as I like to do. Matt saying we're having problems as usual. We have Foamando here, Captain Shotgun. We have Matthew Hess, AV Good, CR Nerf, my old buddy Bill, Miss Not Nuff. My goodness, we have all the Not Nuffs in the house tonight. Captain Shotgun, wondering what this is. This is Restream. It's pretty good. I would say it's like every solution in the world. It's kind of built to have like it does like
Everything good.
Yeah, like, it does like 8 out of the 10 things you want to do.
Right.
Unless you want to pay a whole bunch of money. Oh, I like that we had that stream close up there.
Whoa.
I like that. You're
Little
getting,
zoom.
people are getting more not enough for their money.
Yeah, I was just trying to see how I can adjust so like I can match your. So I'm using kind of like a client. It's like a client app that allows me to use any kind of camera I want as the webcam. So like I was just trying to use the framing on it, the framing feature, to see if I can like bring everything more like concise. But
you look
it
pretty,
is what
you look
it
pretty
is.
good. Yeah, you look pretty good. You look pretty good.
Appreciate
Obviously, we got James Lee on there. Oh, I like this. I can show a chat on the. Oh, this is high tech. Look at that. We can bring up these chats. Yes, sir. And we'll hide that on the.
Normally, you got to pay $1.99 for that to happen.
That's right. You get all the perks for free on this show.
Right.
Foamando's been cooking, man. This guy's like day and night sewing up like the craziest tactical gear. Like he's like innovating on the go.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'll be like sewing up something from a client, and then while he's doing that, he'll come up with a new product in his head, and then that'll be the next production.
For sure. I've been having a blast running his reverse chest rig thing with the Venom and Nightingale holster. I use that every time I use that stuff at like a community game with a bunch of children. I feel like a lot of guilt, but I need
like
that
cheating.
to even it out. They're young and fast, you know.
Small.
Yeah.
Agile.
So yeah. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to talk about a few things. We didn't have much chance to chat before this. I really appreciate you coming on kind of last minute, but I want to talk about a few things. I think first up, I think it's been a long time. I feel like everyone's probably excited to potentially be getting together again soon with Maryland Mayhem coming up.
Ooh, that's an event right there. That's an event right there that I have seen grow exponentially. Like, I know that going from 22 to 23, it was like, oh, the new thing, you know, but from 23 to 24, it was like, I don't know if it doubled or tripled. I don't have the exact metrics, but I know that this year, I mean, if the events selling out in 60 seconds tells you anything, that's like
tells me I'm a terrible team captain. So it tells me I got a lot of guilt about that. Here I am, man, just making breakfast. It's like January 1st. I'm like, this is gonna be a great year. And Al's like, I don't see our name on the team list. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So that's a bummer. I feel like I let the team down a little bit, but maybe
we might have something planned.
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something fun. We'll get the Mega XL jerseys on, and we'll be there. It'll be a good time. I am looking forward to all the. I mean, I always like the HVZ. I'm looking forward this year. I'm not going to get as distracted, I don't think, by like trying to sell things, because like I like playing when it comes to like the Saturday, like the 11th hour stuff. Like I want to play everything.
Right.
So, and I played most of the stuff last year, but I want to play it all. So I think probably set up a little table, like rent a table. I should do that sooner than later, before I miss out again. But more like as a little home base, just for like, you know, for people hanging out and people being able to come by. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I want to make some sort of cool blaster for the theme, which is like a spacey theme.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
I was talking about that with Paper Skeletons. We actually have something pretty exciting planned. No spoilers, but me and him are actually going to do a collab video together, and that's something we've never done. So we've done blasters and 3D stuff together, but we've never done a video production together. And I'm feeling pretty ambitious about this one, so we're going to go all out. So I hope you guys enjoy it, but we got some crazy production planned, me and Paper Skeletons, because I really appreciate like everything he brought to the table, including getting me involved, like helping me get my feet wet in the whole 3D realm. Mm-hmm. And he was able to really get me like, you know, hit the ground with my hit the ground running kind of deal. You know what I mean? With the 3D print. It's not easy. You know, you can't just jump into this stuff and be like, okay, I'm just going to go on CAD and start designing a blaster. And there's a lot.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm in kind of a similar boat. Like Adam, one night I was like, hey man, I will buy your Applebee's a night at Maryland Mayhem. Can you give me a hand? Because I was just struggling a little bit, just with like my CAD projects, because I, just without a little bit of guidance, like they would just get like so unwieldy and out of hand that I just kind of get lost in my own like mess of like, layers and sketches. And he hung out with me for an hour and a half. And by pretty much the end of that, I didn't have the cage done, but he helped me make like 3D representations of like the motors and flywheels and a dart, and then that helped me kind of design the cage around that and just taught me a bunch. So yeah, like when you have someone he's good at teaching too. I know he was kind of like, oh, I don't know how much help will be, but he's so patient. He's like really like calm and like soft spoken, and like he's a great teacher that way.
He's got a great podcast voice. It's like so soothing and low.
Yeah.
Just chill. Yeah, he did the same thing with me the other night. We were doing Arduino. Not Arduino. Now Arduino is apparently like ancient technology now. Now it's ESP32 and all the new microcontrollers. So we were getting down to the nitty gritty with the BLDC nailer, the new brushless nailer that he made. So I'm doing a few remixes to that. So that his unit runs on a PWM, which is like the power pack that sits on your belt.
Yeah.
And there he is. What's up? What's up, Adam?
We're just saying nice things about you.
Yeah.
So I just remixed it a little bit to carry an onboard LiPo, and then I was having to go through the, all the ins and outs about how to reprogram the ESP32 to control particularly that. And he was like, man, it was so easy to talk to him and get all the instructions right, and because that's a whole nother world, like programming and coding. Like everybody's all happy and it's fun in games when you're dealing with motors and switches and lipos. But as soon as you have like that little brain in the middle, you got to plug it into your computer and write code.
It's a whole other language.
Complete other story.
Yep. For sure. I plan on. I mean, yeah, I'll be like, well, Adam's gonna be hiding after all the help he's getting asked for. I actually ordered this like hack pack from Mark Rober, giant Nerf gun guy. That it has, you build this little robot with like a little remote control turret, and like I basically was like, you know what, a little kit like that for me, I almost like that's something I would sit down, treat it almost like a puzzle or like a building set, and I'll end up learning some stuff that I can actually kind of move over into something else, and then so I'm kind of excited to spend the night doing that. And
what's up, Backyard Foam, Captain Shogun or Shotgun?
Oh, we have Jexstar foam here too.
Those are my fellow Goonies guys from Nova Scotia.
That's right.
And 01, he's like their own paper skeletons.
Yep.
There's a Canadian alternate universe version of All America. Oh yeah, Andy Griffith here too. Look at that.
Was it about the blasters that we're all trying to? Yeah, so I guess we're trying to pump out some blasters for the Maryland Mayhem. That event is gonna be chaos. I tip my hat off to those guys over there that do all the organizing and the arrangements of all the logistics and stuff. Man, those guys they have some compounding pressure because it's literally grows that much every year. It's incredible.
Yeah, I am kind of like not worried, but like I feel like this year is gonna be
breaking point.
Tipping
point, perhaps.
Man, like at some point it's gonna get on. Like they'll have to play some limits at some point. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty big, I imagine. And like I really like it. Like it's almost the gameplay. Like the gameplay is good. They do a good job, but it's almost like the real appeal is almost you get the best bang for your buck of seeing.
I apologize for that. I was just trying to peek at our stream on YouTube so I can interact with the chat. Is there a way to do that? I just got to mute the video, right?
Oh yeah, if you just mute the video, you can see it. Yeah, sorry, we have.
Let's see if I can do that fast enough. I got to be lightning hands.
Restream doesn't give you a little chat preview or anything. We luxuriously have a chat preview over here.
Oh.
I got a little compliment there from Brandon Parks. He really likes what you're doing with your editing.
Hey, what's up, guys? I appreciate it. Yeah.
I'll take a second to say, have you seen the Not Nuff intro with King of Games? They're doing
No.
you should check that out. They did a fun like sniper drone operator
Okay.
intro thing. I thought that was really fun. That was really cool.
Oh yeah. So King of Games, I've been wanting to work with him for a while. So I reached out to them to see if there was something we could collaborate on. And one of the blasters that he had not reviewed yet, but he was in possession of, was the Kunlun. So I asked him about it. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then midway through us like talking about the segments that we were gonna do, I was like, hey, how about a little bit of a cinematic at the beginning? Are you down for that? And he was like, yeah, I mean, what do I got to do? What are we doing here? And I was like, don't worry, just darken your room a little bit, put some kind of like a monitor in your face, make it look like you're, flying a drone, everyday stuff.
Everyday stuff. Yeah. No, it looks really good. I mean, that stuff is like such.
You nailed it though.
It's such fun stuff to add to videos. It's so much work. It's so much work.
Oh my gosh.
It does differentiate the videos though.
It does differentiate it. Like I really like. Yeah, I like a lot of the stuff you're doing. I really like that you've kind of gone with like even the setup in your videos of like you've actually gone for like this is like the composed studio of an adult instead of like the because like the typical YouTuber background is like the chaos background, right? I like what you've done. Like
I had like
the lighting.
I didn't have the luxury of being able to just put holes in my walls and pegboards and stuff. So what I ended up doing, and I had all the boxes of so I just looked like an out of control hoarder with all the brand new blasters still in the box behind me in the wall. Right. So I was like, you know what, let me just clean this up a little bit and get the lighting right at least, or what I think, we'll see. This is a learning progress. Every day you just keep chipping away at it, and see where you get to. But do I have to do these over the top scenes? Well, for me, over the top, I got a long way to go to Michael Bay, but no, they're not necessary at all. But they're not going to get you 100 more views on your video. In fact, if people don't like the source material, like we're talking about a worker Kunlun here, it's not a Nerf Retaliator, which is the most popular blaster on Earth. So it's not going to get it's not going to pull the clicks or whatever, but it's just fun to do. You
gotta have fun though too. I just pulled out. Speaking of the Kunlun, there's a question from Brandon. Who's going to show?
Oh my God!
That was something I was going to talk about. The that all metal. It's 1,200 Canadian
plus duty
plus
shipping.
Duty and shipping.
I saw it yesterday for the first time, thanks to you showing it to me. I didn't even know about it.
I'd say all told, if I was going to get that, it'd be $1,500.
I think it would be more.
Which is like. It's a lot. Now, this says a really bad thing about me is like I don't have a Kunlun yet, and then once I saw there was a really expensive one, part of me was like, that'd be cool to have.
Just hang it up next to your pew pew.
I think that's literally just like the unhealthy like collector in me is like that would be rare.
Captain Shotgun is asking, what's this new software? It looks fantastic. This apparently is Restream, right?
Yeah. Restream, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty easy to use.
Is it all web based?
It's all web based, and it like stores your graphics and stuff. It is like I think I'm paying like I don't know if I'm paying anything or not. I might be on the free version. If I am paying, it's like $8 a month or something. I just got tired of OBS. OBS just was crashing every time, and with OBS you have to kind of manually create all your like. It's really powerful, but it's so much more work.
Intensive.
But anyway, no, it's pretty good. But yeah, that all metal one. Like the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, my goodness, like. I could literally buy a regular Kunlun. I could get that Gavin Fuzzy electronic blaster that I'm blanking on the name of. I could get I could literally buy a plane ticket and go to an extra event. Like
you could fly to Out of Darts, grab a regular Kunlun, and fly back for cheaper.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I don't know, but I mean honestly, like it's a let's not lie, but like that's a luxury item. Like I think
you know what that does though. It draws in attention, and
for
people who won't pay $1,200 will pay the regular fee for the regular Kunlun.
You call me an idiot, which I know you have no problem doing, but literally, like after seeing the $1,200 Canadian price tag, I'm like the normal Kunlun's pretty cheap. I should get one today. Right. Whereas before, I was like, oh, that's too much money.
It's the same reason why bars have $500 shots of whiskey.
That's right.
Yeah, sell that middle shot.
Anyway,
I like that coppery look that it has. That anodized coppery look. That's pretty sweet.
It looks. I mean, honestly, I'm like good on them. Good on them for for sure for doing it, and it's a luxury thing. And I don't think they have many. I think they have like probably have like 8 or 7 or 8 of them, and that's it. I just saw a question, which is a good one actually. I'm kind of curious about this too. If Luke will ever continue the proton pack, or has it been abandoned? I don't think it's been abandoned because he's still doing connectors for different blasters. I think it's more of a supply issue with those like custom boards and stuff. So I've actually been meaning to just like for fun do a poor man's proton pack, because really I don't want to minimize it. Like it's like super smart and there's a lot of work into it. But like if you have like a powerful blower or like a leaf blower motor or something, some tubing and an agitator, that's where his kind of started. Like you could make one. Jerry rigs. So I've been thinking about like trying to make like a poor man's one at some point. But yeah, I don't know if I'm sure he will at some point. I think he'd like to, because he knows he'd sell a bunch of them. Like they sell out every time, so I'm sure he'd like to. Sierra Nerf is saying proton packs will be back. Yeah, I would imagine they will. I just gotta catch up on the Quiet Wyatt, dude. I love the Setakili. I'm probably saying that wrong. From Lidl. It's a great one. Like I really love the Venom. I really love the Worker Nightingale. And like stringers are funny because they can be all over the place for like. I feel like Lidl really figured out how to make stringers that work every time. Because before I would have been really hesitant to use a stringer in like an HVZ or something, because there's just like I would almost consider them plinkers more than anything. But the Setakili is actually dependable enough that I think you could use it in HVZ and be just fine. And a lot of his are the later ones, especially like the Lanka, not very dependable, and I think he's kind of admitted that too. But all the later ones are super good. One of my favorite ones is I have one over there, the Replicant with the like 6-dart cylinder. Like that's a brilliant design. It's so good. Love that Lidl.
Andy Griff has a good question. What old Dart Zone Adventure Force blaster would you like to see get the nitro shot treatment? You already know mine. And Dart Zone is tired of probably hearing it from me, but the Thunderbolt nitro. You got to make the body indigo, like the opposite, because you know the nitro shot is kind of like a dual color. It's kind of like that lime and then the indigo. You got to make a couple of the blasters actual indigo color, and then the dual tone of it with the darts, the lime. I think that would look incredible. Or indigo Omnia, that would look really good. But that's further down the line when the next Omnia comes out, I guess. Yeah, no, that would look pretty good. I wouldn't mind. Like, I feel like they should. I wouldn't mind actually seeing like a Nexus Pro in like the simpler, like. A simpler style with those colors. I didn't really like the patterned thing on the side of the Nexus Pro X. Right. I like nice. I don't know. I like solids, and I wasn't the biggest fan of how that looked. So I wouldn't mind seeing it for like. I mean, they could do it to all of them, but I know they don't want to have infinite SKUs out there where that Derek from Dart Zone storing in a warehouse because he's like, oh, we made too many purple blasters. I don't know. That's a tricky thing to. It's a tricky thing to do. There something I wanted to talk to you about, because I think you do a really good job with it, is before that, I want to talk a little tiny bit more about the theme of Maryland Mayhem is like space. And I want to talk a little bit about what you think you might run, Matt. Have you thought about it at all? Do you think I was thinking it might be fun to build something? There's lots of time, or lots-ish of time. Sure. What do you
I hadn't put any thought into it,
no,
to be frank.
And I didn't prep you because I just told you
just
right now.
Yeah. No, I haven't thought about it. I mean, I think last year specifically, I think pushed me to the less. I want to be goofy about it.
Yeah.
I don't really care if I make it all the way through. I just want to have a good time. So whatever I decide, it's not going to be the most optimal loadout. I'll figure something out that works well with the theme and is fun to use.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll do the same. I'll do the same, but then the part of me that wants to win will also carry like pew-pews on my side or something. But
that's fine. I can tell you.
Got a pew-pew stash in your pocket.
I'm pretty sure that for Maryland, I might run, because this on 9-volt is down to like 115.
115 New Brunswick, I remember.
150 in New Brunswick. We have
FPS in Maryland is different.
FPS does grow. But the other blaster, I'm just going to load this up and shamelessly fire it because this is the blaster that Paper Skeletons helped me do the cage for. The other thing I was thinking about doing, I think no matter what I do, I want to do something big and ridiculous. So I'm also considering.
Afterburned?
This is the one with the afterburner, yeah. So I either want to use this.
What motors are you running on the afterburner cage?
There we go. So I either want to do this, or like I want to integrate a bunch of mastodons together. Like something so heavy, I have to use like a camera backpack with a support,
yeah.
Which Flux has done before for stuff. So this is with the afterburner.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So tune down a little bit. I have probably like 15 chains. I'm gonna have to talk to Fomando about some sort of chain bandolier.
Right.
But yeah, what do you think you might run? Are you thinking like something goofy, or do you want to be more of an operator about it and
I don't know, man.
win the day?
I honestly, I was brainstorming it with the Goonies guys on the chat. I was like, at one point, I was gonna do like an all-worker loadout, and then I was thinking, well, maybe I want to run a couple of, I don't know, because there's a few events, right? There's the 11th hour, then there's the HVZ.
Oh yeah,
and then there's the competition, but that's you have to get in within those 60 seconds, right?
Yes, those are gone.
Don't rub it in. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more like for the 11th hour stuff, I'll probably bring a little bit of a variety. Like there might be some games where actually I'm like maybe not take seriously, but like might use stuff and actually like enjoy the fun of like sniping at people and stuff.
Actually hitting people.
But for the HVZ, I think that's the one where I want to use like Megalodons with Mega Darts or the Vulcan and add a bunch of lights to it, paint it up, make it look really sci-fi. I think that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like a Nailer Oid for HVZ, and then or Duel or something. You know, I know that Fomando's got me all hooked up with a Nailer. What is it? It's a Nailer holster.
Yep.
So we're gonna either run dual those or run or one, you know, carbine or whatever. Not the carbine, I used that last year, but you know, something like that. And then I got the Worker Hurricane on 3S. That's such a fun little blaster. I love that little thing. And he's got me with a bandolier of the Worker mags. Yep. You know, the little cartridges with the 6-rounders, just kind of like a bandolier with that.
Oh, I know. I have like
a box of those the other day.
I have a box of them. I had a point where I thought for kids parties, they were so cheap. I was like, maybe that'll be like the ultimate solution to like a casual little blaster. But in the end, it is a cool little blaster. That cylinder, like the cartridge, the way it loads, like as much as it's like cool for adults, kids just like
they just bend the dart and all kinds of.
Yeah, in the span of a party, it was no good. So
not
I
only
basically
that, but the power. The inherent power, the way it comes with the blaster, is hard to get right off the get. Like you can't just put 2 AA's and do your 30 FPS. You can't do that. You have to either put the Trust Fires. It's the name that these
the cool
14500s have inherited. Unfortunately, the Trust Fire lithium ion cells, or you could do like a conversion to a 7.4 volt. Then you can get at least 100 FPS. But not everybody knows that, you know.
No, and I didn't want to do it 8 times, so. I bought enough Kulik batteries and that it fires at 70 FPS, but it's just not. It's not a good. I'm actually like that's a whole different subject, but I actually kind of firmly believe like there almost is still no ideal blaster for children, which is like a funny thing in like a world filled with thousands of blasters.
Right.
They're still like they're all inherently have.
I have somebody who might be able to answer that question, and his name is Seth.
I feel like
he does what you do, but I mean, you guys should probably both be able to get together and come up with that answer. It's not quantum physics, but
no, I mean there are some that are close. Like X-Shot does a really good job of like all the front loading, easy to prime stuff. Like that's all pretty great stuff. I don't have them handy, but like there's like most of the X-Shot stuff is probably I went down a little path of N series. Now I'm like, nah, I think X-Shot's better for parties.
Right.
Anyway, it's a tricky one.
That shot's pretty forgiving. As long as it's not one of the pro blasters, they'll jam that up real quick. The long shot, man, they jam that thing up quick.
Yeah. I noticed Andy saying he's a virgin HVZ in Maryland, a virginer, thinking of Percy's with a Venom Pro, foam Mando holster, and a holster on his back for a takedown. Good. I mean, so Percy's is great. I'm never going to say like a Percy's is great, but like, man, I hope you have
lots of ammo
because like,
yeah,
it's a great blaster, but like, man, you'll go through a lot of ammo. Recovery is hard, but the Venom Pro is great. Like the Percy's great. Just have it on a sling. I would almost say, at the start of the day, use the Venom and actually save the Percy's for when later. Like things are getting a little hotter later, maybe. Yep. But yeah, I mean, there's no bad blaster. Like my favorite HVZ experience is seeing a guy with a Mega Thunderbow take out 5 people in a row as they charged at him just twirling around and thunderbowing them. Like,
and he was having the most fun too.
Yeah, like there's no bad blaster. Bad blaster for that. Have y'all seen Xbox games End Strike attachment point for the Siren Blink? I feel like I have at some point. I don't have any of the Siren stuff. If I'm in the state, well, yeah, maybe I'll order the Blink Owls. I'm not really super interested in any of the Siren stuff, to be completely honest. But I mean, Xbox always has good stuff, though. For sure.
Andy's been hoarding ammo, apparently.
Oh, that's good. I appreciate a good hoarder for sure. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So another topic I wanted to talk to you about is you get sent a lot of cool stuff. I get sent some cool stuff, and I wanted to just see I just want to kind of see. So here we are. We're a few years into this because I think when you start the channel and someone sends you something to review, you're like,
"Oh, that's a good topic." Yeah, I knew you were going to talk about this.
Yeah, so. You're like, "This is the coolest." But I do find myself and I think that's a natural progression. I'm a little bit more fussy about it now. It's got to be something I'm really interested in. I have had a couple things over the years where someone sent me and I got it and it was so bad I ended up not reviewing it, which kind of made me feel weird and kind of feel like I broke a bit of a
ethical code
understanding.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not getting paid, I don't know. The agreements are kind of, because usually it's I'm going to send you this so you can do a review if you want. But we all know the understanding is
you should do a review.
You will.
Yeah.
But I have had a couple things where I didn't in the past. And now I'm pretty particular about what I do. And the reason I want to talk to you about I think you do a great job. When someone sends you something, they get really good. I think they get really good value because you put a lot of work, the Spira stuff you did. I thought was really, 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 really good. Yeah, I mean a lot of that stuff. But I just wanted to see how are you feeling these days about getting stuff to review? Is there part of you that's burnt out on I almost don't want to review something, or I don't know. How you feeling about that stuff these days?
So the thing with that is that at the beginning, it's bad enough that you have to niche down so hardcore at the beginning to grow a brand, to develop a brand and grow your YouTube channel and get noticed and just discovery. You know what I mean? That discovery phase is it's such a grind. So it's normal and it's natural at the beginning that any company that reaches out, you're like, bring it on. Lightsabers, bring it on. Water guns, bring it on.
I would still say I would say yes to a lightsaber tomorrow.
But then at the end of the day, you're like, I put a lot into that video, and
for a few hundred views, it didn't actually
of my audience was interested. So at the end of the day, you have to keep it true to what your audience wants to see, I suppose, and also something you enjoy. You're in this hobby because you enjoy it. So branching out is something that sounds cool on paper, and eventually, if you like Mr. Beast, once he got big enough, he had gaming, he had reactions, he had all kinds of channels. Because he got to that point where he was a brand that people recognize him for him, not just what the video was about. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's one of those things that, I have to kind of funnel down and choose the things that I think align with the model of the videos I want to make, because that's what the audience wants to see. And it's what I enjoy doing at the same time. If I pick something else, it will just clutter my backlog like no tomorrow. But luckily there's enough things that are not just directly aligned with Nerf Like, for example, there's a company called T238. Did I say that right? Yeah. The company that makes the airsoft stuff, like the little gearboxes and the MOSFETs and stuff, they're making stuff that crosses over to Nerf now, which is cool because you can say yes to that stuff now. And it's still very cool technological stuff, but it applies to Nerf. Like you could apply it, you know, you could attach it, those tracer systems, you could attach them to the end of your Nerf barrel and it's fine. So
yeah, like I have a tracer from them from a while ago. It's like a little bearing, like a little B car.
Yeah, I still have to review mine. So
it's a great, yeah, no, I agree. Like, I mean, and I think it is good to tie stuff in. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I've definitely taken a couple, said yes to a few things recently. One of them was because the other thing, on the other hand, if someone wants to send me something really weird, I will.
Interested.
Yeah, like I got reached out to about get like a Shaq basketball, and I'm like,
sure.
Why on earth would you be sending me a Shaq basketball?
Seems like a very
like even if you want to try to like modify the video to something Nerf related or even just projectile hobby related, sometimes it's a challenge and you have to say no. Even if it's a big company, like we all know about the Raycon earbuds of the world, and you know, like Raycon earbuds, that's one of them. And there's another like very fancy microphone company, like a podcast microphone, like a proper boom mic. This company's like the microphones start at like $220. I could have been like, yeah, send me a free mic. I'll just tell people that, you know, buy this microphone. It's cool. And I get a free mic. But that's not being genuine at the end of the day too. You know, like you have to be true to yourself, not even like just try to, if you have to be true to yourself so that it reflects on what you're trying to do with your channel.
Microphone company, I will take a free microphone. But then again, use code Maritime Foam.
I thought about like the Raycons. I thought about, okay, you could use that for communication on the battlefield playing Nerf. But then again, you could do that with $2 Bluetooth earbuds from Alibaba too. So
no, for sure. I think in the like, well, with the exception of the Shaq thing, because I was just like, I was amused by that. Like I think I did say in the video, I'm like, I might use it as like a
wait. Did you do a video on a Shaq basketball? Because I didn't see it.
I just did a short.
Oh my god!
I did a short where I
gotta
just
check that out.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I'm like, I like this overweight white guy was asked to review a Shaq basketball, and I was like, I don't know anything about basketball, but I do love Shaq. And then I showed a bunch of video clips of him in like Steel and like all the movies. I'm like, I'm more of a fan of his movies. So, but I just did it as a short. But I did get like something that I did get recently where I'm like, oh, this is cool because this is kind of a tie-in. Is like I will 100% use these for games. I got some stuff from Marky Sparky. This is like a javelin that you throw, and I got like a bow and arrow, and I'm not as torn about because I'm like, I would totally do a game in the backyard where like you have to basically like toss a javelin at something to achieve the objective. Like I like using MacGuffins quite a bit, but yeah, I'm definitely drifting and I'm definitely in the era more of like, it's got to have some reason.
Oh, that's nice. Where's the bow for that?
So they did send me a bow as well. So the javelin, you literally just throw. It's like you throw it like a javelin. They sent me, this is more like the kid version of their bow, which works pretty well, but they have a bunch of fun stuff. They're kind of a neat company. I'm like, that's projectile-y enough. But yeah, like that stuff for MacGuffins, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That stuff fits in for me. And then I'm like, and then every once in a while I'll review like a Transformer or something. And I know it's the kind of thing I should make a new channel, but as much as like I want to grow the channel, at the same time,
that seems like exponentially more work.
I'm never starting another channel.
Right.
So you know what? At the end of the day, if I want to make a weird little video,
it's your channel.
I'm just gonna do it. And when I lose all the subs, Not Nuff's at 200,000 subs, and he's in the Not Nuff jet, and he'll be like, "Man, I told you."
Not Nuff.
You gotta stay focused.
You know, if we were on YouTube to be rich, Nerf is definitely not the way to go. So definitely gotta love it. Definitely gotta love it for sure.
No kidding. It's like a niche within a niche. I have thought that before. Like there have been times where I've thought like, why didn't I start reviewing high-end like electronics.
Right.
Like Linus Tech Tips.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well,
Now
I mean,
you have him going on Jimmy Kimmel now. Like, you're a computer reviewer. What the heck are you doing on Jimmy Kimmel? But yeah,
Right.
you get that big. What are you gonna do now? You got to start traveling the world, I guess, and meeting Hollywood people now.
yeah. No, it's funny. All that said, I'm glad to be in this space. It's pretty.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it.
It's pretty fun. Are you so you've been actually like getting out and playing a bit more these days than kind of at the beginning of your channel, like where you kind of like hooked up like Seth from Seth's Nerf Fun. He's not that far from you, right?
Yeah, so ever since we collaborated the first time, I started probing around and I found quite a couple of, I mean, Florida has a lot more Nerf than I thought it did. I thought I was all alone here, which is why I started the YouTube channel, to see if I can communicate outwards, like reach other communities.
Right.
And it did what I wanted it to do. Like, I was able to get in touch, and well, Seth I met because I found his videos from Maryland. Once we all got back from Maryland Mayhem, we were all going on the computer trying to find videos about it. And Seth was one of the few people that just uploaded right away all the videos he took. So I was checking out his videos and I'm like, it said Naples, and I know it's not Naples, Italy. So
Right.
it's gotta be my Naples. So I looked him up, and sure thing, we got in touch. And within a week, I was going to one of his local events and we were having fun. And then after that, we went to one of the events in Lakeland, which is about 3 hours, well, like 2 hours north of here. And we were playing with the Beef Squad and Orca guys out there, which bunch of cool people. And then we even had an event down here in Fort Myers. So it was cool. It's cool to start discovering, kind of like you guys with Dartmouth and stuff, finding out all those guys out there that play. It's cool to find local events and stuff,
Oh, for sure. It's nice to be able to do something once in a while that isn't an 18-hour drive. Well, I mean, we had we had a ton of fun even like that day in my backyard. We played Jexstar Foam and Foam Mando, and our friend Jeremy came over, and like that was a ton of fun. I'm sure when the nice weather hits, we'll like do some more of that. Like,
by the way, chat, call to action to chat, because we didn't have, did you guys have a good time to promote this Maritime? This was last minute, right? Because I didn't have any time to promote this. Like, I came home from the gym. I was gonna jump in the shower, get my microphone going. No, I looked at my watch. It was like I don't even have my watch on. I was like, hey, it's 8:58. I gotta run.
Yeah, I definitely did not. From like 3 weeks ago, I said, but I've canceled it twice. So it would not. This is a casual reintroduction.
Sure. Let me start 16 people.
So basically, call to action chat. Reach out to all your foamies that are online right now and tell them about the stream and come hang out with us if they want to. That'd be cool.
Tell them about.
Because we didn't even have time to tell them, so you'd be doing us a favor, I guess.
That's right. Mr. Molerat saying he recently found a club in his, they found a club in their area.
That's awesome.
And thought they were all alone. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good feeling when you actually hook up with people. I went out not too long ago, and the last Friday when we were supposed to stream, I ended up going out to like a town 20 minutes away and played a bunch, and I was like just energized from actually playing. Yeah, I don't know. It's like fun to do, like take all the stuff that you mod and do whatever and actually get out there and play. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to Maryland, looking forward to seeing people. Maybe not looking forward to the 18-hour drive. Matt and I always accidentally drive through the worst part of New York.
It always takes us. Yeah,
there's no way around that at all.
No, not really.
Right? Like if you leave at a different time.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out what else I'm going to go to this year. It's a little tricky because I'm getting married at some point this year, so I can't go too crazy. But I feel like I do want to go to more than one thing.
You want a honeymoon?
Wait, did you say getting married? Is that what normal people do?
I guess.
Is Mrs. Not Nerf still in the chat?
We're gonna steer away from that topic. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what else I'm gonna, if I'm gonna go somewhere else. I really like Survival Fest, but that's in Athens, Ohio. That's another 18 hours as well. So like I can't make it to that, unfortunately. So there's a group in Boston that I've talked to one of the guys there and I might try to do that. That's 6 hours away from me. I might try to get down to Boston. That's a little bit more doable. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun to play. I like.
Not enough. Stop complaining. She said she was gonna fly to Maryland and meet me there. Stop complaining about looking forward to the drive. You're not even gonna, because she's got a real busy. She actually, I told her I was gonna kidnap her after last year. I had so much fun. I'm like, whether you want to go or not, next year I'm kidnapping you. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll enjoy that. And then now she's like, she might have some compromise, some obligations back home, so that are happening right around in May. So it's right now it's a toss up whether she'll be able to go or not. But if she does go, because of the timing, she might have to fly from wherever she's at directly there and meet me, which is okay as long as she goes for a day or two. I'm happy with that because I want her to see what it's like, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's definitely fun. It's a cool experience. Like, it's kind of amazing to me how many people who've been around doing this stuff a long time who've never been to anything.
True.
Yeah. Like, and there's a bunch of YouTubers too who've like,
insulated the entire time.
Yeah, I think what's his name? Silly Butts is one of them. He's up in Maine, and he was like me when he started. He's 0 people around him. But getting involved in YouTube and social media, finding communities, going to events, and then here we are. His channel's been actually very successful for the time that he's been on. I mean, he's a great engineer.
Yeah.
But that also helps. I mean, the guy's pumping out new designs left and right now. It's crazy. He's like on fire right now. Silly
Absolutely. I actually ordered I had a gift card. I had a gift card. I ordered a hardware kit for his battle axe. So it's like a pump action magazine shotgun that holds silly shells. So they fire like everything from Mega XL to like foam balls to short darts.
Nice.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
Yeah, it looks like a ton of fun. So now I just have to print out. I just need to print out all the parts and assemble it. That'll be a project.
Why is Jetstar Farm? Is Dartmouth another 4 hours on top of the 18?
Yes.
Yeah, so for the guys in Dartmouth, they need to come. They need to drive
4 hours west.
Yeah, 4 hours, and they have to go through. Well, they could take. There's a ferry they could take. That
the ferry's also 4 hours.
Yeah, but it would cut off some time, but I think it's also expensive.
It's like $200 or $300.
Yeah, although I don't know, man, it might be worth it. But yeah, so they have to drive. So that'd be like a 22-hour drive for them. That's a long way. It's a long way, but you know what? 22 hours in a van with your friends.
It's nothing.
That's nothing. It's nothing. That'd be a hard one to do by yourself. Like I don't know. I think if I like.
You did Pennsylvania by yourself, right?
Pennsylvania was like 12. I feel like that.
There's a threshold there.
There is a threshold. Like, and Pennsylvania is easy driving. Pennsylvania is like you get to a point where in Pennsylvania where your GPS is like drive straight. Your next right is in 400 kilometers.
Right.
Or like that's like I don't know, like 260 freedom units.
Yeah.
So like it's just to me that's not stressful like compared to the Maryland stuff. Like I like a drive that the closer I get to the destination, the easier it gets.
Right.
Not like the more intense
as
it
opposed
gets.
To trying to,
which is kind of what Maryland's like.
Come on and off of 6 different interstates.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's it is definitely worth it though. It's a good time. Oh, and I see Builder BB's in here. I hope you do make it to Maryland this year. I feel like I haven't actually. I don't think that I've seen you since maybe it's been has it been a couple years? It was one of the Pennsylvania survival fests, I think.
Matthew Hess says, World Foam Alliance helped me find 2 groups in my area and enough persons that I might be able to start a 3rd. You see, that's what I like about World Foam Alliance. That's what they set out to do, and it's working. They're helping people find local communities. It's really good.
Bill have a caravan yet from the...
I think CR Nerf, Bill. I think Bill has like 7 people.
Does he?
He mentioned to me at one point they were like looking at an Airbnb. But I was like, I don't think Matt and I want to sleep in the middle of a rug in a sleeping bag. So we probably should look at some sort of hotel solution. So
yeah,
I don't know. I like to sleep light. I got my CPAP. You've seen it all, so
I have.
I don't mind you seeing it, but I don't know that I want to expose everyone.
Not a
to it.
morning person, huh?
I mean, Matt with the eyes big.
No.
Definitely not a morning person. It's always that's it. Actually, like the kind of funny thing about going to events is it's like a big vacation just to have
Just to
like
get up at 8 a.m.
just have like a grueling schedule. Like you gotta get up early. You gotta load those bags.
Sure.
You gotta pack stuff up. It's a lot of work.
Who
Good
you
work,
guys
though.
coming? CR Nerf. Who do you guys got coming from Nebraska? You said Nebraska. Wow. I know Iowa. We got Andy. He's probably bringing some people, but for Nebraska,
Yeah.
wow, that's a haul. Actually, if Maryland Mayhem was in Nebraska, it'd actually be easier for everybody because it'll be right dab in the center.
Yeah.
You get people from Vancouver and Alaska and all kinds of people. I mean, at that point.
Yeah, I would love. I don't like this recent trend that all the big events are
Even Iowa is pretty centric.
real far.
Iowa would be a good area to do a Nerf war.
Yeah. Don't mind me. It's back in the Nerf fridge.
The Nerf fridge, ah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I run something something different. Like I'm gonna take a couple of options.
Right.
That's the thing with having such a flood of so many options that it makes it hard to ultimately choose what your loadout's going to be, and then you end up just being, stuff all over the place.
Yeah, I think it was all about that. When we crossed the border, the guy opened the trunk and just froze.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you doing?" And I always, without fail, take a bunch of stuff that I never
use.
I never even touch.
What do the Border Patrol tell you when they look in your trunk?
They're like
They're not too bad.
They're not too bad, but like they're not. I don't know how they do it without even like cracking a bit of a smile. Like,
No, I'm saying, like, how do they not laugh? Like,
they're maybe they're
dead inside.
trained not to. They're dead inside. I don't know. They're like too busy getting ready to collect tariffs on all of our goods. I don't know. They're gonna take 25% of my darts
Right.
when we go through the border.
Right.
contraband.
Contraband. Yeah, we did the last time we went through because Matt didn't have a passport.
I have the paperwork in my laptop.
Matt's passport was expired. He had the paperwork he needed, but we definitely got we had to bring up the Maryland Mayhem website and show them it was a real thing.
Yeah, they want to know the metrics of where you're going to be and all that.
Yeah, and I'm like, do you think we're really making this up? Like, you don't think three guys would have a better story?
Think we're going to rob a bank with a bunch of Nerf guns? Come on, guys.
Yeah, so
I mean, yeah, stranger things have happened, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Builder BB, a Vulcan rapid strike integration in need of your cage. I'll definitely send you. I'll send you those files. I'm gonna put them up on printables or Thingiverse here soon. I just got to take some evening. I just got to take a minute and I need to tweak one of the motor, one of the screw holes. Like I just need to move one of them like 0.5 millimeter because on the cage of mine, like one of the screws is a little bit diagonal and it just bothers me. So I just need to tweak that and make a few different crushes, and I will send it to you. So
you guys were asking about the drive. So it's 16.5 hours for me, and James is about 4 hours or 3.5 hours north of me here in Florida. So I usually drive up, I meet up with him, we get a bite to eat or something, and then we just hit the road.
Right.
And we're like, car convoy buddies. And hopefully this year, I think Seth is taking off a day early. I just don't know if me and James are leaving on Wednesday night or Thursday. I think Seth wants to leave on Wednesday, which is extra early. But it's good because it gives you an entire day for travel, so then you can check into the hotel Thursday afternoon.
We left.
We leave Wednesday night.
We left Wednesday night. Stayed in Boston.
Wednesday night. So you travel all Thursday and you check in Thursday night?
You know what? I think we left when. Yeah, we left.
We left Wednesday. Stayed in Boston, and then drove from Boston to Maryland Thursday.
Yeah, and got to Maryland late Thursday. I think this year, I think we'll break it up, but not in Boston.
Yeah, Boston's not quite halfway.
It was too expensive. It was too much drive the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Too. It was like you broke the drive up, but then you're like, holy shit, we have like a 12-hour drive today. Right. It was too much. I want to get to Maryland early enough that it's like actually relaxing the day before. I wouldn't mind maybe if we were on top of it, like going in because there's on Thursday there's always some sort of HB
0 hour or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I just brought this up. Jexstar and I die in Fortnite to 12-year-olds. We gotta.
Same.
What are we playing on here? Are we playing on PlayStations? Are we playing on Xboxes?
Doesn't matter. It's cross-platform.
Oh, it is cross-platform. I will be sending you Matt and I's IDs, so we should be doing a video game stream sometime. What a time that would be! What a time!
Just see if Seth is online. Trying to get him on here.
CR Nerf. I bought way too much last year, bringing the Venom and the Setakili.
Keeping it simple.
That's all you're bringing is the Venom and the Setakili?
Don't worry, he'll buy tons of stuff when he's there too.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what he's thinking. I'll never forget the look on Bill's face when he came over and he's like, "I just bought an Omni. And I don't know why." Good.
Hey man, Derek's a good salesman.
Yep, for sure. And Omni is a great. I mean, it's a good blaster for. It's a good blaster for people from Iowa. That's what I think. They're
high tea Canadians,
and they're lucky to have it.
Right.
All right. I just invite bombed my entire chat. So
sure.
Nice. Captain Shotgun, do you all happen to play Call of Duty Warzone? I don't. You need to have young Twitch reflexes for things like that.
Yeah, I downloaded.
Oh, bro, Cooper, that's what's up.
But not for me. I don't generally like the battle royale stuff. I enjoy Fortnite because it's goofy.
Yeah,
but like the Call of Duty stuff, I don't like.
Fortnite actually does a pretty good, like as much as it gets a lot of grief, like Fortnite does a pretty good job of actually like kind of balancing that. Sometimes you end up playing with people who are like
terrible,
which is great for me. Like I'm like, oh, look at me just murdering all these children. That's gonna get me.
There's your demonetization right there.
That's gonna get me YouTube flagged for sure. Hey, Bro Cooper, do count me in for Fortnite. I'm a sweat. Like you're so cool. I guess I think I know what that means. That would actually be a ton of fun. I would love to do that. A big battle royale night with people.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Get enough people together, you can have a private match.
Oh, that's a good goal.
You know, one blaster that I really like, and it's probably the what's up, bro Cooper just said what's up. It's one of the most underrated blasters, I think. I'm going to eventually do a retrospective video on it, but the Worker Phoenix 2.0.
Oh,
that is
one of those.
That thing is crazy. If you upgrade it with the Phoenix, the 75,000 RPM motors in the final stage, and you do like the Phoenix or the MOSFET, I forgot what it is. I have to look into it. Paper Skeletons probably knows. That thing is, it's a mag dump, and like obviously you have to turn down the PWM to use it for to use it like practically. But if you have a horde of zombies on your tail and you just squeeze the trigger, brrr, it's like the A10 Thunderbolt of Nerf blasters.
Yeah, I wanted to get a Worker Phoenix for a while. It's just one of those things where like, and the more time goes on, it's still just as much. And it's kind of hard to spend that much on such an old blaster.
I had to use my 20% wholesale, and they landed a sale during Black Friday, so I combined the two, and I think it was just over $100. But at that point, I was like, I need to get it now or never.
Never.
Yeah, I kind
Sure
of
enough, it went right back to 150. So
I kind of regret not getting it when because they had that you could get the upgrade kit for the screen, so you could make adjustments. And that was on sale on Other Darts for a while, and I was like, I should.
And then it was only in Chinese, and it wasn't translated.
Yeah, but there was briefly they had the proper one for a bit, and I wish I just bought it. I wish I just bought the kit in anticipation of getting a Phoenix at some point. But like I say that I have under my desk, I have kits that I've never built. I have like the hologram kit for the Rapid Strike.
Right.
I know you built that. I have an embarrassment of riches. I'm a bad person.
You're not bad. You're just irresponsible with money.
Maritime Foam, you'll ship me yours. Don't do that. That's too nice of a blaster. You keep it. You might need it someday, young fella. Don't.
Wow, Bethany. What is up? Bethany from Atlanta Blaster Club. What is up, girl?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you here in the chat. That's lovely.
Bethany is actually a new person to the social media world of content creation.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah, there's only a handful of Nerf Pro players that actually started doing like content creation. And I like that's why I like what King of Games is doing, because it brings that perspective to the YouTube world, you know, the pro player perspective. Their testing of blasters is completely different from what we do. Like plinking in our living rooms, it's never going to be the same as that high, you know, that fast-paced, heart-wrenching action of, you know, quick prime and all this other stuff. You know, it's just very, very fast-paced. They put the blasters through a whole nother set of like wear and tear.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah,
that's why
and
it's good to see their perspective. The few that do like YouTube, it's nice to see that.
yeah, no, I enjoy that. I enjoy that for sure. I'd love to see like I'd like to see more gameplay stuff. The problem, like the tricky thing about gameplay stuff, is for it to be really, I shouldn't say good, but for it to be really engaging and do well, it just needs so much post production.
Yeah.
Like you literally need like multiple cameras on individual people.
needs some sort of moderator with a
Yeah, you need
knowledge.
you need commentary.
Yeah.
It's like it's. I think they're, because I know a lot of, like, I think in like YouTube creators is like, oh, no one wants to see gameplay, and like, but I think it's just like people don't want to see. People want to
Seth.
see gameplay that's pretty edited.
Yeah.
You know?
Seth made
so, yeah. I just saw Seth there. I always enjoy Beret's his gameplay stuff. I mean, it's usually like usually very goofy too.
Yeah.
But like, you know, he's pretty good at keeping it edited down.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that generally people want to see the hints. They want to see the takedowns and stuff.
Yep.
Not that there's not room for like seeing strategy and stuff too, but then you almost need to be able to go from like, you always need like drone, like you need like a full you need a production crew. You need like overhead.
We have a question for Seth before he leaves the chat, because I know he's a busy guy. Sure. What would you say is the ultimate blaster in terms of reliability, dependability around kids? Like the most resilient blaster that'll just resist all jamming and all torture and all sorts of like just wear and tear with kids. Let's see what his opinion is.
I'm curious to hear his take.
He might say what you said, that doesn't exist.
Well, the closest I would say for me would be the Reflex 6 from X.
I mean, how can you mess it up, right? You could even spin the barrel without it messing up the gears.
Yeah, simple front loading. It's not hard to pull. I can't really think of anything that's like more dependable. It does an okay job with like chewed up darts. That's the funny thing too, is like, it's not just blasters. Like when kids use darts, like, man, they're not like, I talk as if like I don't like kids. I really do. But like they don't pay attention to, like, darts will have like no head on it and like a hole in the side, and they're like putting it in the blaster. I'm like,
how did you even pull that off?
That's not gonna work. It's funny going to that like community center and playing games. Like I'll find, like, this kid was like, are there any more of those darts with the Velcro on them? I'm like, so like you're like, he's seeking out old Velcro darts. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Bethany says Maverick. Yeah, you can't break a Maverick. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, Maverick is like, falls into that same like
rough cut. I like the rough cut. I had a whole bunch of the battle camo ones put away somewhere. Where did
yeah, the rough cut is super fun. When we played in my backyard, one of the most fun games that day, we all had like I just brought out a bin of rough cuts. Yeah. And we all used rough cuts, and that's a lot of fun because they're like, they go to that velocity where you can still kind of dodge them, and like there's just lots of darts flying. I think
it is. You said it. I was gonna say something X shot. Honestly, yep.
Yeah. So they kind of won out in that like easy to use.
This really surprised me.
Oh yeah, those guys.
This is actually like it's not X shot. You know, X shot has the flimsiness where you're like, yeah. This is like tough.
Yeah.
But you can't, like, these people. I would love somebody to tell me, somebody that's down under and knows, like, where did these people mess up? Like, where did they drop the ball? Because they had something good going. The plastic on these blasters was good. Like,
yeah, I don't know, and I really liked the one that, like, I think you had it too. They sent me the foundation edition of one of the flywheelers, and they did some weird stuff with that though with the flywheel cage. It used flywheels that were like a shape that no other flywheel is.
I know Seth loves this because he had one of these in his community bin. This thing is awesome.
I like their color scheme.
It shoots just as good. I think it shoots in the 80s, 85, 90 maybe.
$7. Wow,
it's good.
That's pretty cool. I might have to pick one of those up to go with the like. I have the flywheel.
That's the thing. I don't even know if they're available anymore. They were like $7 at Walmart. Like, great price always.
I don't know if they exist out there anymore. Andy was just asking if the Bug Attacks version is as reliable as the other Reflex 6. I would say yes. It's basically the same. It's just a reshell. Most of the ones I have are actually Bug Attack.
Okay, Andy says it's still available at Walmart. That's good to know. I might have to pick up another one.
Let's see here. Just going through the chat, highlighting some comments here. Archer key.
You know what I don't have, and I think it's even better than the Reflex 6? It's the skins version, and I'm trying to remember the name. The skins version, because it has a joint in front of the cylinder, so it doesn't have like that cylinder play that you get with a lot of the, it has like the shaft. It has a shaft mount in the front of the cylinder, and then it has like a little barrel piece here. So the cylinder is a lot more stable when the air blast hits it, and you don't get those random shots. It's a little bit more accurate. And I had the name in the tip of my tongue. Maybe somebody will spit it out in the chat. But it's basically the skins version of the Reflex 6. It's like the new generation.
Yeah, I know. I can picture it. It's hard. It's hard to keep up. Kids these days with all their X-Shot skins and their things and their and some of the X-Shots like whereas I will say X-Shot's kind of doing a bit of a weird thing where like they're putting out. Well, they're creating a lot of new blasters. They're also putting out versions of blasters that are almost identical. Like
there it is. It's the Griefer. It's the Griefer. Okay, I knew I had it somewhere. Do you have one?
Oh, I would have a Griefer somewhere. But like this one,
the Sonic one with the double. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was the same because this is an old style. This has been.
That's a Dread, right?
Yeah, it's the Dread, but it's different than the old ones. It has like extra shell pieces down here, so they've changed the shell a little bit, but it's virtually the same. And like the X-Shot Micro 2 is like almost identical to a Menace, but not. It's
cannibalizing each other.
Yeah, a little bit. They're like they're doing their X-Shot thing that they do, I guess. But they're doing a good job overall.
That looks like so much fun, though.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Dino Striker 6 is much more solid than the regular 6. Can handle a heavier spring load and keeps a better air seal. Interesting. Oh, I know what you mean. The Dino Striker.
Oh, yeah. So I think that one, actually, that's the first one that had the front hinge for the cylinder. And then came the Griefer. So actually, the Dino Striker is actually more reliable than the Reflex. I think I have one somewhere.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I would have one somewhere. Like in a you can't
see the
collection, by the way. Have you narrowed it down a bit?
Oh boy.
You got rid of one.
Yeah, I only have one storage locker.
One
storage locker. I'm gonna risk everything and turn this. That's pretty much all blasters. It's
the Nova.
I line this back up, okay, Matt?
Yeah, you're good.
Should never move the camera.
Yeah, I love my Nova, dude.
I think some night I'm gonna put on a stream.
By the way, I have a snub. I have a snub front end that I made for it. I don't have it on my Etsy. It's like on a per request base. It's such a niche. The Nova's like a niche that lives inside two niches. So
yeah.
So if you want the link to this, I'll just send it to you, or I'll send you the files if you have access to a printer. But I love it. I run it on 2S, and it's optimal. I don't think it really picks up a lot of speed on 3S, maybe like 10 or 20 FPS. It's so optimized.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sexy. Woo!
I do like the look of my Nova. I'm glad that
sexy, dude.
I'm glad I have one. It was the whole thing with the side plates was a really, really good idea. It's kind of too bad it didn't go
This is Flux's, yeah.
Yeah, it's Flux's. It's too bad it didn't go a little further. I think one mistake not a mistake, but like, because that's easy to say when you're looking at stuff in hindsight. But like these side plates, the side plates are kind of easy to take off, but it was hard to change the rail. Like the way it all went together was like, I feel like it could have went together a little bit simpler. I love the idea of the side plates.
Yeah, it has a lot of like inner shells and half inner shells, and sub inner shells. Yeah,
it's a little harder to put together than I would like. Like I would love to do something kind of similar, but literally just have a middle and you're just bolting on the sides. And the
Salamander 2 is asking what these are. This is the Flux Labs Nova. It's a semi-automatic mechanical pusher flywheel pistol, and it's made by Flux Labs, Dr. Flux and his team.
Xbox Games has printed a few. I don't know if you can still get it or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Xbox Games is a distributor. Captain Shotgun says that he ordered one from him, so I guess he's still distributing them.
Nice.
I feel like Flux ran in not trouble, but like it was just hard to like. I don't know, when you're making a custom blaster from scratch and selling it, it's hard to get a good price point.
Yes.
And people were kind of like, "Oh, it's too expensive for a semi-auto blaster," but like,
do the math.
We're just trying to get our money back in materials and motors. And
like
your time is $1.50 an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's not custom blasters. I don't think they're generally. I mean, I wouldn't say that no one's ever made money, but like I don't like. It's certainly not the easiest way to make money. Like of all the ways that I've made money from doing Nerf stuff, probably the way that I've made the most money would be running events.
Right.
Like of all the things, running events has made the most money. Because like the Etsy store did fine. I kind of stopped doing that though, because like it's like, let's say I'll make up some numbers. Like let's say you make 12,000 in a year, your markup was like 50 or 60% if you're lucky. Mm-hmm. And then like when you get taxes and like Etsy fees,
cost of goods,
you're doing just like a ton of work all year for like maybe $4,000, $4,500.
Etsy is a passion job.
Like
I went really heavy on it when I first got my printer because it's like when you first get your first race car, the first 2 weeks of ownership, you're broke because you spent all your money in gas.
Sure.
You know, just running the car around town. But then once it all dies down, you're like, okay, what do I do with this now? Go to work. But
yeah, no, for sure.
But with the blaster, it's like it's a passion job. You just build it. You build stuff because you want to, but you need a downtime for it too. You don't really make no, we don't, Bethany. There is no money to be made in this hobby.
I mean, I do feel like sorry. I mean, like I've also, I mean, you just saw like I have a storage locker I pay for every month. I have a garage full of this stuff. Like from a net perspective, I don't know that I've broken even.
Probably broke even or made a little bit over the top to pay for like sustain the business, but
maybe
or pay the SPPs.
Like
you're close.
But I'm pretty close though. Like I wouldn't be in like I've made most. I've probably
if you average it out over how long you've been doing this,
like
on a per year basis, you're not spending a bunch.
My spending was very front loaded. Like I don't spend nearly as much now. But like I said, the way that like of the ways that I've made money in this hobby, it's been events. Like that's the only way that like actually kind of adds up. Because once you have the blasters, you don't have all that overhead.
Yep.
Etsy's so much overhead, materials, and time and assembly. Like like I have things somewhat organized for parties, and I'm sure Seth is probably in the same boat where like I can go run a part. It's still like if I break it down by the hour, like.
Seth just commented about the events.
Yeah, like it's still even making money on it. It's still a passion thing. I could make more money doing what I do for a living and freelancing, for sure, than I could running parties. But it's it's something different. I don't really want to freelance doing what I do for a living. I get enough of that doing that for a living. So
job's a job, hobby's a hobby.
Yeah, and I like to keep the hobby a hobby if I can. I'm gonna go back up the chat a little bit because I think there were a couple. I feel like I missed a note from.
Yeah, Seth actually wrote a good one talking about basically any revolver-based blaster is kid-proof, which is true. All they just gotta put the darts in from the front and go to town.
No, I agree. You know what I don't like for kids that you think would be good is drum blasters. They're just I don't know. I don't find they're super dependable. I know some people love them, but also you spend half your party with kids just filling them up because they will not play with a half-filled blaster.
Yeah.
That's I mean, I don't know. Adults do that too. We're all the same. I saw a note from Adam saying here.
Yeah, the multi-material panels on the Nova are hard to print. Yeah, they're costly to make.
Oh yeah. That's a lot of dart. That's a lot of filament poop.
Yeah, you got to use AMS and you got to use an X1C bamboo, and it could get crazy.
They were a lot. But I mean, you could still do those panels. Like, I don't know, man. You could still do those panels with one color, and I think that would be. I think they'd still be pretty cool. You getting some side chats?
Yeah.
Captain Shotgun, do you have a YouTube channel? You said you make videos. If you do,
oh, he does.
then,
yeah,
we can get in touch. And if you're in Florida, maybe we could do a collab. You never know.
Yeah, I think it was Captain Shotgun's asked if you're near the Daytona Beach area.
Yeah, Daytona's actually somewhere I've been wanting to go back to. I love it out there.
Yes, he makes videos. Catching up the chat here. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's a thrilling video, and I'm just scrolling down a list here.
Adam talking about
Paper Skull
3D. It's
thankfully
cool.
3D. I gotta switch this. Thankfully, 3D printing is a passive income, especially with the bamboos. I agree, and I disagree a little bit because, man, it can weigh on you when you get a bunch of orders. And I'm sure some people are a lot better than me at like. I'm sure Adam's a lot better than me at this, but like time management and being like, I think if you were the kind of person that set your deadlines long and you were like, Sunday is the day I work on, like, or maybe like Thursday I assemble, Sunday I ship.
Right.
If you kept a hand, but like I had times with my Etsy store where I had like 14 orders in the queue and I was just like, I don't like this.
Right.
Like, and I was always thankful for it and I learned a lot. And I feel like it's fun to like the interaction you have with people. Like it's a cool experience, but I just,
I think he's talking about the autonomous portion of the job, not the part where you actually assemble the blaster, but where you hit the print button.
Well, yeah, he does a lot more. I think he does a lot more like selling of parts than I did. Like I did a lot of like,
yeah, I stopped you selling full blasters too. And that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, like I think if it would be a little easier to handle doing the parts thing. I mean, I think that can get overwhelming too, but I get that. If I was some sort of brilliant parts designer, that's what I'd do, but he'll just be in there in Texas making all the money. No tariffs for Adam, just making his goods. We're bitter in Canada about tariffs. I keep mentioning tariffs. Let's see. Drums do cause issues from Sefner's Fun. LOL. My family has 6 Villanators and they are amazing. It's hard to defeat that even with the. So here's the thing about the Villanator. I know people love the Villanator. I've had a few Villanators because I have a problem, and like the Villanator hits so hard that I found after you use the Villanator for a bit, it would loosen all my darts. So by the time I got to the end of the drum, if I wasn't constantly making sure my darts were in there, seated,
yeah.
I don't know. I found that was an issue, and I know other people have had that issue before too. The Villanator was it was cool. Of all the drum blasters, it's probably the king of the drum blasters.
Hey, Captain Shotgun, if you're going to Maryland, I'm sorry, because I'm looking at the YouTube and it's like you guys are not talking on YouTube, but I forget about the 10-second delay. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's okay.
I'm just trying to figure out who along the eastern seaboard is going to Maryland. We could all like pick each other up along the way on the big road trip. That's cool. Because
more the merrier.
Captain Shotgun was talking about he's in South Carolina, so if he's going, we can actually all head out there. I know there's a group with that new team that was put together by Orca, the Space Whales. It was put together by Orca in northern Florida, so they're going to head up there as well. They're competing. They're actually competing. Orca and the Space Whales are both competing.
Oh, I know.
I have no idea what they're
I've seen all the teams that made the registration. I know. I wish them luck. congratulate them on their dedication.
You know, I inadvertently just bring this up, not to shove it in your face or nothing. I just,
Sure.
you know, if anything, Al the Geek, that's what he's there for.
That's right. That's right. Oh well, it'll be fun. It'll be fun anyway. We'll be there. We'll be there next year. Next year, I'll set an alarm. I'll be.
Maybe they shouldn't put the registration on New Year's Day.
It is not an ideal day to do it, to be honest. New Year's Day after. Anyway.
After apple juices all night?
Boo hoo. Boo hoo. Whatever. It's fine. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I have a table. I think we have a table at Maryland. Yeah, I just got a basic little sponsor spot. I figured out that by getting the sponsor spot, it's actually better than getting a vendor spot because you actually help them more somehow. We did the numbers.
I was gonna do the same thing actually. I should do that. I assume there are some spots available. I like to go in.
Hey, General Strife, what's up?
No Maryland for this guy. Maybe 2027.
2027. I don't think we're doing 2027 planning yet. My goodness.
2027 is probably going to be in Greenland because it's going to be so big, it's not going to fit in the USA.
Greenland might be part of the USA by 2027.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Luckily, we buy it. You know, we're able to afford it thanks to all the Canada tariffs. No.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
No mega this year. What does that mean?
Double XL.
Oh yeah, no mega double XLs. You guys, Maryland. You guys,
you're really rubbing it in. You're like, no big XL. What does that mean again? I'm like, oh God, it means Anthony didn't register in time.
No, I thought she meant like ammo because she said mega. Have we ever? Is there like a? No, there isn't. Like a special uses for mega and mega XL like ammo. No,
you know what? I wish if I was close. I'm too far. If I was closer, I would really like try to like organize some sort of unofficial like goofball tournament, like in some sort of proximity,
like a big sillies round, but the Super Bowl of sillies round.
Yeah, the Super Bowl of just stupid blasters and I would love to see like I'd love.
Hey, Junior 7, what's up from Orca?
We talked about when we had our event in the backyard here about games with specific loadouts and specific roles. Would be interesting to do.
Would be super fun. Like, yeah, that's something we're probably going to play around with. Like the games we play here, like one guy can be the sniper, one guy has a shotgun. Like that's all very specific.
Yeah, like roles. Like
you gotta have people. Yeah, you gotta have people into it. But that could be a lot of fun. Like one person's full auto, but they're limited. Like that's when you're almost getting into like you're like trying to emulate video games.
We kind of did that last year, but impromptu. There was a guy he had a rival vision. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you, the guy with the automatic, go to the front because the zombies are coming. I'm like, oh, that's the problem when you have a fast blaster or like something automatic or like even a quick mechanical semi-auto. Everybody's like, go to the front.
I assume he was like, go to the front.
We all saw Luke Goodman from Out of Darts last year. He had his, what is it? The
Momentum?
The Momentum. Like it was all spruced out, freaking $1,200 blaster. Boom. He got eaten by a zombie in like 2 seconds.
I figured that guy with the vision was like get in front because he's using a vision, the worst rival blaster that has ever been put out.
No, that's why he wants us to go so we can like back him up.
Yeah,
But I was sad when Luke went down because he had the momentum. He was all strapped with mags and Xbox Games was in there. Joe Fox was in there. They were all just blasting away at these, but it was a horde coming in. You guys remember? No, I don't know if you were there. You guys were in another team, probably.
No, I was there. I died right beside Luke, and I died because I was too ashamed to run away. I'm like, oh, I can't run away and abandon Luke. I gotta pretend I'm cool because normally I would have ran away.
Right.
So I died because I was trying to be cool. Foam Mando saying, "Give Nerf Dog the sniper." It's true. It's true. You should have a Kunlun. Really, you get that $1,500 Canadian out.
Sure.
Hey, you guys are killing it. 24 live. All right, man. That's awesome.
Get that going. Salamander 2. I was about to buy a Stripe X, but then they removed it.
No Nerf Pro. I agree, my friend. Nerf tried to do something with their materials, and I don't know. The torrent was kind of okay, but
so there is a very real thing that I'm like kind of, and I'm like, it's probably a really good thing that I'm more of a flywheel person. It is a real problem here. The climate is a bigger deal than I ever realized for darts.
Absolutely.
Like, so all of my like B cars from Dart Zone, the P cars, a B car that a tray from the Mega XLs, like that was on the Griffin that I used and worked perfectly. None of my B cars or P cars work up here because like after a package of darts has been opened for a few days, they just the moisture. They like, I need like some sort of like cigar humidor for my darts. It's actually like a real problem. So the torrent worked pretty well when I was down in Rhode Island, but like my torrent doesn't work very well here. It works worse here, I guess, than it did down there. And I think that's part of it. I tried to mod it and put on another barrel, like not much longer, and it just would get stuck in the barrel. Like, and I mean, maybe I didn't have enough spring behind it, but like even still, like I think I don't know. We got our juicy Canadian air up here. Just so
we are right next to the ocean.
It's so moist.
Oh, don't use that word.
It's just
we are coming up on an hour and a half, by the way.
Oh, we are. It's probably almost getting to that time up here, and well, we have a tariff on our time zone, so we're ahead. We're ahead an hour.
So what are you guys gonna run at HVZ and 11th hour respectively?
Well, that's the thing. I think HVZ, I'm going to go more goofy. Like, I'm either going to do some sort of like Mastodon integration and combine like, I kind of want to combine 3 Mastodons or 4 and then get like a camera steady cam rig with like an arm, and then that'll support it. Right. So I want to do something like that, or something where I put 2 on each arm and make like 2 Mastodon gauntlets and walk around with those. Like, I want to go really goofy and lots of lights and like stuff like that, because it's sci-fi. Like I want to do, but I think for 11th hour, I'll use my pew pew some. I'll use that $1,600 Kunlun I buy, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll probably.
Does it say how much it weighs, by the way? If it's all
6 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, flux.
Yeah, the regular Kunlun weighs quite a bit.
Yeah, the metal one was like 6 pounds. So yeah, I mean, I'll take a little bit of variety. I'm gonna take that flywheel shotgun that I have from Sandshark Labs. I'm gonna take that down for sure.
Lob some darts.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. What do you thinking you're gonna run? I mean, you got your
paper skeletons. Good luck getting that past the border patrol.
Right. The CNC one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I wouldn't even. Yeah, I would not. I would never.
Yeah, I'll probably I'll bring the Seagull for 11th hour, and I'll tune it down because it was too much for the tournament.
What's the cap? Is it 160?
I think it was 160 last year.
Yeah.
That's like what? That's like the stronger spring that the Seagull comes with, right?
Yeah, but I bought a Harrier spring to bump it up to closer to 200 for the tournament.
Yeah, that's for like the pro game.
Yeah, it was too heavy. It ruined my shoulder.
So you can
go.
With,
you actually couldn't play on 11th hour.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't bring like your 160 spring with you?
I did, but I was just trying to get it as close to the cap as possible.
I have a tactical unicorn that Other Darts sent me. And it's a nice blaster. I like it too, but it's a heavy prime. Like there's like I see, when I see compared to like I have a Dart Zone Mark IV with an upgrade spring.
That thing is just so smooth. It's like
and like I'm watching Luke with his pinky prime the Kunlun at like 300 FPS, and I'm like,
I think he's pinky priming with the 200 FPS spring.
Oh, maybe. Still though, like the unit, like after I reviewed the tactical unicorn, when I was done, I was like, oh, my arm is sore.
You're doing that all day.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I do like the CQB kit for the Kunlun.
Oh yeah.
So basically, you use the I mentioned this in my video, but you use the longer barrel from the Seagull, so the 310 mil. Then you drop a whatever you want in the front T-car, And you see, yeah, this is a 200 FPS spring, you know, easy.
Yeah, it looks
No,
pretty
actually,
easy.
no, that's the heavy spring, I think, still in there. But you can't do that easily. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that all day.
No.
Yeah.
You can't run around the field all day and just be priming this with your pinky.
That's why I'm kind of mystified at it. Like it's 200 or 300 FPS, but it's a strange bull prime.
I know. Yeah, I have a hard.
Cool, but
it is cool, but I have a hard time. Like, would I actually
use it?
I don't think I would rather use that compared to a pump action in a tournament.
Not a term like that. Something maybe if you're outdoors in a larger field.
Oh, I think like in the backyard playing, like you'd have a blast just like sniping through people. I think I don't know. It's. I mean, why do we have more than 4 blasters? Really? Because it's fun to have all of them. I mean, I don't know. Steph's Nerf fun. You want a tactical unicorn so bad. Like, yeah, the Tacticorn is it's good. It's good. I think
one thing I wanted to run, but I just felt like it's cheating in a way. It's the BK1S. I just love it so much.
I almost bought one of those a few times.
The new one, you know, the new revised one that doesn't jam and it works flawlessly. It's just, I feel like it's cheating because you stick, and it's proprietary mag. I'm not going to go and buy like 20 mags of this one blaster that only fits that one blaster.
Yeah.
And only to have, you know, because then they'll bring out the version that fits Talons, and then you're sitting on a.
Yeah, it's the for me, it's the proprietary mag thing is why I don't have one. 100%. And I've seen videos on people making it fit. And it looks like it's so much intricate shaving. Right. It looks like your chances of just having nothing would be a little too high for me. So, Jexar Foamy saying he's going light and easy for HVZ with a Maxim. Easy to lower the FPS with dummies. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, for all my talk of like, we'll see how tired I get with all like my big over the top stuff, and I might just carry around pew-pews.
Sure.
So we'll see.
So Andy was asking me if I have a left-handed Kunlun. I was like, "Yep, that stupid mirror button on."
Oh yeah, I wondered if that's what it was.
Yeah, so I just hit the button.
Well, I'm gonna do a little chat catch up maybe before we wrap it up.
Sorry, not Andy, but yeah, yeah. If you guys want to catch up, there's a lot going on in the chat.
Surf Seth, my Striker 2.0 with the heavy spring is quite the work. Yeah, I would imagine. Jexstar light and easy. BK1S is okay, still jams a lot. Builder BB, I have a Select Fire Sherdal that's good for the 11th hour. Oh, interesting, yes. Interesting. General Strife, maybe a video about the history of Nerf as a hobby could be a good one. Make it separate videos like chapters or eras could be cool. That sounds like a project for Beret. He's in his documentary era. I feel like we should get him on that. I've been enjoying all the stuff he's been doing lately with like just doing more interviewee pieces.
I like the documentary stuff. I wanted to do something like that for a while. It's a huge undertaking if you want the video to be like somewhat like educational. You got to put a lot of elements in it, you know, like footage and B-rolls and all kinds of stuff. You want it to be like somebody's worth 30 minutes worth of time, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
So you gotta go in there and do it right. Oh yeah, I guess it's my birthday in like half an hour.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Not enough just reminded me. I'm like, after a while, you don't want to remember it's your birthday anymore, you know? Sure. You're like, okay, guys, I got it. I'm getting old.
Nonsense. You're a young man. Wow. I can't believe we're
definitely like to think it, but nah.
Well,
Gee, thanks, Ms. Not Enough. You reminded me.
All right, everyone who's in the chat, I need you guys to promise me right now when I count it down that you're gonna sing. We won't hear it.
Oh God, here we go.
That you're singing. You ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Sing along, chat. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Not Nuff. Happy birthday to you. And many more darts.
I need what you guys are drinking.
I mean, I'll sing you happy birthday any day. I don't need a drink for that. And I hope
a Nerf party, Seth. That'd be great, actually.
How old are you? What's the age here?
Oh,
Oh,
old enough.
old enough. Old enough. All right, everyone. We're going to be doing a poll online. If you can guess Not Nuff's birthday, I'll send you some stickers in
The
the
thing is,
mail.
every 5 years, that number resets. So
I'm going to start a poll on YouTube tomorrow. Well, happy birthday to you. Oh,
I don't think it's possible to age when you're Nerf. So we're saved, guys.
Oh yeah, it's for sure. What you do? Are you doing anything fun for your birthday? What are you doing?
Well, one thing I decided to do is actually I was just gonna do like a fancy short because I've been actually on a pretty good roll now, doing a video every week. Because that kind of consistency is like demanding of the way that YouTube is structured now. But I was actually going to take this weekend off. That's what I was going to do. I don't really have any crazy plans, but
yeah,
I was going to do like a fancy short on something I left out on my last video, like some extra content, and then just take off the weekend and hang out with Ms. Not Nuff and see if we do something fun. But yeah,
that is also a good plan. Do you find? I feel like I'm asking you a question I know the answer to, but like, do you find it hard sometimes to just relax and not think like I'm behind on doing a video or
not just that. It's just like when I have downtime, that's when my brain is racing, thinking about ideas of content and just work in general. Sometimes depending on how ahead or behind I am on my daily work, but yeah, content creation, like. Because you're always thinking about ways that you can improve what you're already doing, and obviously that's an infinite rabbit hole, But yeah, I'm just always thinking about what's next, ideas on what else I can do, like change the because you want to do some kind of change, but you don't want to veer off so far off the path that you throw everybody off either. So it's like I'm always thinking about ways to change it up, but be innovative at the same time, if that makes sense. So
yeah, no, for sure. I find for
like,
me.
And I've been trying to stay away from like the. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but I know a lot of people are experiencing really good growth with shorts, but then on the back end of that, it has its own drawbacks too, And I'm trying to like find some kind of a balance, and it's kind of tough sometimes because if you go with heavy on shorts, then the algorithm assumes that the people that are your crowd really doesn't like the long form, so it doesn't recommend it to as many people as it would if you did a short. And same for the long form. Like I've tried doing shorts in the last couple of weeks, and it's like they don't get as much exposure as a short used to when the algorithm didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like when the channel was younger. So that's something that's like a bit of a struggle for a lot of creators. I've talked to a couple of people, and they kind of like on the same page with that. They're like, I'm at the fork in the road trying to figure out what I want to do, long form or shorts, because it's hard to find a balance and how to do both. Like even if you use shorts to promote your long form, like that's a strategy that's kind of like still smoke and mirrors right now. So
yeah, I don't actually think that works very well. Like my shorts tend to be, I wouldn't say I've never done it, but my shorts tend to be standalone. Like if I do a short on something, there's probably not long form. Right. Although sometimes if I do a long form review of something, I'm like, I'm going to do a short on that as well. Yeah, I do like. I mean, I've always. I mean, from the start, I've always done. I do a lot of shorts. I do like. In some ways, I'm both torn on like YouTube shorts can be 3 minutes now, which is like
blurring the line there.
You are blurring the line a little bit, and I actually so I still try to stick to be closer to a minute when I can, but I do find myself like
tempted.
Well, I mean, I'm not even tempted. They've gotten a little longer. The one thing I will say is I'm so used to doing 1 minute shorts that it is nice that if I do something and I like the edit and it's like a minute and 8 seconds or like a minute and 20, I can just be like, okay, great, off it goes. So it makes it.
Nicholas Mozzarella made it in.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. It's going well. You're here. Well, there's a few more minutes of stream here, but we've just been chatting away and all over the place, kicking off a 2025 season of hopefully doing some regular streams on the channel. Jack Styrofoam.
A good dad joke.
Oh, what do we got here? A good dad.
Prefers shorts over pants.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, well, and they shut down the stream.
Right.
If you guys want to end the stream early, let me know. I'll pull out my seagull and show it off.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you like. I feel like every time now, I do think I know why, but I feel like poor Al the Geek has when he's streamed, he's gotten shut down so many times.
Oh, but because his paints and stuff, right?
Yeah. Like they're usually like dark and color. But I mean, I say that there's been a couple where he showed me what it was they brought out, and it didn't look
that bad.
Didn't look that crazy, but
actually for my 2024 birthday, Miss Not Enough, when we went to MegaCon, it's a big, like gigantic comic convention down here in Florida. I think the second or it's tied for the biggest one in the States. Ms. Not Enough actually bought me a blaster from Al the Geek. And nice. I have it laying around somewhere. I have to do a video on it still. It's so impressive. Like the guy's work is like immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have I have a little bit of shame that I don't actually have anything of Al's. I keep meaning to like get something. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to make you something." So I think what I'm going to do, I need to do a mod guide for that Vulcan, for the flywheel Vulcan thing. So yep. I told him I'm going to just do a second one to do the guide. So I'm going to give him that one, and he's going to.
Hey, Big Lorenzo from Kern County Foam Flingers. What's up, man?
Oh, nice. I missed. I should catch up on the chat here. Let's see here. Captain Shotgun streaming almost every day for Merge Masters. Hope I don't screw myself by doing that. That's streaming every day. That's a
tough schedule.
That's a lot of streaming. I will say I do enjoy, and I've only done it a few times, but like I have done a few like random night streams where I'm just like puttering around.
Yeah.
And like turn on the stream, and like it is kind of nice to like chat a little bit with people. I don't mind.
You should do the Caesar thing where you just like bring a blaster on screen and everyone thumbs up or thumbs down.
I have thought about doing that, where I basically go through my pile and basically like.
Although knowing this group, they'll just thumbs up everything, so you keep everything in the end.
Yeah, I need to do some sort of interactive poll. So
serious questions for you though, Anthony. Last time we were on stream, February of 2023, you were struggling with your blaster stockpile. How are you doing now in comparison 2 years later?
It's not
the actual stockpile.
Do you have a storage unit or a warehouse, or?
I still have one storage unit. I did have 2 storage units.
You got everything out of that gaming cafe place?
What's that?
Did you get all your stuff out of that gaming cafe place?
Yeah. That stuff's been out for quite a while. So that's why I had the second storage locker from like the overflow from that and from moving and everything. I still have too much. Like it's actually like it's such a time consuming thing just to go through stuff to give away. Like you have to especially when you're busy. You know what it's like when you're busy. This is like a real real first world problem. But you literally have to have a night where you're like, you're home from work, you don't have anything going on, and instead of all the other things you could do, you decide you're gonna go one by one and decide.
Well, you know what's crazy? That night never comes. I know from experience.
Well, that's the problem. And I know I would feel better. I actually kind of feel the weight of it. Like I would feel better if I had less. Like I definitely just have too much stuff. That is one thing that like running the parties is bad for, is there is that little bit of like it's so easy to justify keeping stuff, but like I don't know. But I don't like even tonight, you know what I bought? I bought another Stampede with I had a gift card from Value Village. I bought another I
can't laugh, that was probably mine.
Yeah, it was from you. Okay. I have 4 Stampedes. 5 Stampedes, and at some point I'm going to mod a Stampede. That's a project I want to do, kind of like the Vulcan. I want to kind of go through all the classics and make like better performers.
The Vulcan is a popular one. Like every stream you do, somebody talks about a Vulcan.
Yeah, I think having like I'm really, really happy with like the parts for the Vulcan because like the cage that existed wasn't like it ruined darts and required day breaks. Like it was just too expensive. So like that Vulcan I just showed that gets like almost 150. That's using those cheap worker 130s and worker smooths.
Is the plunger and spring upgraded at all?
Nope.
So it's literally just the afterburner doing the heavy lifting?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically just a no. So it's the nice thing is there's no extra strain there. Like it's just, if anything, I've actually thought on the next one, I might cut a coil off of the, because like I don't need it to do much. It
just to get it right at HVZ.
Yeah. It just needs to like poop it out into the flywheels. So yeah, I don't know. So the stockpile thing is tough. And I like collecting. Like I'd like to have, I don't know. I have no good answer. You were saying like 2 years ago it was a problem, which is depressing. I'm like, yeah, it's still a problem. But I have more space.
It's a problem in a bigger space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my garage, like this garage will never have a vehicle in it.
I've actually slowed down. Well, I've had a two-prong approach. Like I stopped thrifting as much as I did, and I've been offloading some on eBay, like the triplicates. I started with the triplicates. Like everything I had 3 of, I would get rid of the third one. And then just offloading slowly throughout the last couple of years. I've just been losing a little bit, but I mean, I still got more than I should, obviously, but they're all in bins at least in a controlled environment.
I won't judge you, that's for sure.
Not thrifting definitely helps up front though, because then you you cut the inflow off.
Well, I know. I really I should never head into a thrift store at this point because like
if I do go back, it'll be like for something extremely rare or something I've always wanted type thing.
I will say it's not often now that I find anything I want. Like it's pretty rare. Like I bought another Rebel purse because I'm like, you know what? If I take that, maybe I throw that in a bin of like things that are harder to find. Someone will buy that in Maryland for. I would love for like not even to make. It's not going to make a lot of money, but like. I'll put that in the hands of someone who will be like really happy about it. Mm-hmm. So like there's some rare ones that I would still get. I'm always tempted by flywheelers and stripes. They're just so easy to mod.
I know.
It's
Striphoids. You can't pass up a strife.
No, I just got a modulus stripe. I'd never found one before. I think it was like the only stripe I don't have. I picked one up the other day. So I don't know.
There is one stripe that's very elusive. It's the only one I don't have. And I think it's called the CQ10. I think it was an international, or it was a Kohl's exclusive when it first came out, but it only lasted a little while.
I think I saw your video about that. I have a blue one, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that one.
Yeah, it has like black accents on it instead of white.
Mine might have black accents on it. I should check that.
You probably
Builder BB was saying a tricky thing with modding the Stampede. You roll the dice to open it and find the right plunger tube. Where there are two styles. Tapered and straight. The straight has better performance. Oh, that's interesting. I've actually not to be to do the same thing on every build I do. I have been thinking of looking at using flywheel the world, small micro motors and see if there's any way I could fit a little cage in there and do an afterburner for the Stampede as well. I think it would be tight to do it without any shell cutting, but I don't know. I'm gonna look at it and see.
Have you tried any of the siren blasters?
No, I haven't. There's no easy way to get them here in Canada, for one. The Blink I'm kind of interested in. I thought from day one that they were the ugliest things I've ever seen. So I was never really that interested. I think they are, and I'm a pretty soft touch when it comes to Nerf stuff. I like a lot of stuff, and I thought they were the ugliest things I had ever seen.
I think the Gnarl's pretty cool, and it's probably my favorite because it's $17. It's a pistol and it shoots hard. But then again, that's the thing about the space now. I can count 3 blasters. You could just walk in anywhere. Like Walmart, you can get the Fury X Pro from X Shot. You can get the what's the Dart Zone, the Adventure Force one, the Aeon Pro X, for $19. 150 FPS in your pocket for $15-20. So it's even hard to compete now if you're somebody who's coming out with pro blasters. And that's what I was talking about in my video. I think it was a video of the Fury X that I'm just not sure. I mean, I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but I'm just not sure how good it is for the pro side of the hobby, commercially anyway. for companies to start putting stuff on the shelf for $15, because then the other companies are like, shit, we got to come out with something that's under $15 now. So we got to cut corners. Let's cut plastic here, quality there. And you just don't know where they're cutting those corners. Next thing, you have a bunch of lemons or blasters that are not as good as they used to be. And it kind of disrupts the market, but not in the best way. Or at least it has the potential to do that. I don't want to seem like completely pessimistic about it. You know what I mean?
No,
I want to believe that it's a good thing that other companies are going to create high quality for low dollar. But man, $15 is just such a low bar, even for a non-pro blaster, that it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
really disruptive. That's for sure.
I know what you mean. I would agree, and I do think there is like on the flip side, and I'm a big X-Shock fan. I think they've been like killing the actual like casual market, but like you even see it in the X-Shot long shot. Like I mean, people still like it, but like the quality thing is
yeah, it wasn't without its flaws. I think Backyard Foam did a new video recently about yet another flaw that he discovered independently. But yeah, I mean, it shipped with the plunger tube, the weak walls. I mean, that was the first generation. I can't still bash them for it. They corrected that pretty rapidly. But you know, still, it's like the flimsiness of the X-Shot brand, which you know, you love it, you hate it. It is what it is. But yeah, when you go low, it is kind of like a self-cannibalizing action sometimes as a company, because you have to find that value cut somewhere. It's not free. Materials are not free, especially not in 2025. Plastic is not cheap. You know, these metallic components, the springs, everything's just resources, you know. So if you're trying to create the cheapest blaster on earth or going for that Guinness World Record, you're finding that cut somewhere at the consumer's expense, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to, you know, turn people away from cheaper is not better. It is, but at what cost, you know?
Yeah, I mean the Fury, I think it's cool. I do think as a hobby we really like to jump on a train. Like everyone is really peeing themselves over the Fury X, and I know it's $16, but like guys, like you all, like not everyone, but like you have, most people have some nice blasters. Like it's cool that they're doing it, but like it's a top prime. I hate top prime blasters. To get like, I want to get one because I think it's interesting. So I'm like,
so Andy Griff said he had 11 coils of K26. Okay, so it was a torture test. Most blasters put up K26. I mean, if it's a pro blaster and you're putting K26 in it, you would expect, like I said, it's X-Shot. So
yeah, and with
we're talking about the science. We're getting into the science now, you know. But
doing that with a top prime would be god awful as well. I don't know.
No, well, this was a long shot.
Oh,
backyard foam. I guess he tried to put K11 coils. Andy Griff has the details, but
I'm a little bit more forgiving of that because like you can use other springs and you can get the long shot up to some pretty good speeds that people seem to be using it over and over. I will say the long shot feels really good to use. I wish that they would put out a better version of the long shot for twice as much money. I would buy one of those in a second.
Right.
Like if there was like $100 X-Shot long shot with like, you know, maybe it's like in nylon or something. Ooh, baby. That's why I like all the worker stuff. Worker is probably like my favorite pro stuff. It feels pro. Like I do kind of want my pro. I keep saying pro. I do kind of want my pro stuff to feel nice too. Like I don't really feel personally like I'm not that interested. And this is a little bit of like maybe privilege talking to you because I'm like an adult who can afford to buy like some nice blasters. Obviously, I'm never going to use a $14 pro blaster. Like ever. Like I'm just not going to. Like I'll get it for interest's sake, but I'm going to use the ones I have that
feel nice.
I want them to be nice. And I get that it's nice and I'm glad people like it. And I know there's like lots of younger people especially where it's like that's a great opportunity for them to get in and have a blaster that hits that hard. So I'm like, it's great that it exists. I just mean for me, I don't. It's not. I'm not the target, I don't think.
That's crazy, you know, like I almost consider the commercial grade pro stuff, like big box store grade pro stuff, more like a super stock or like a intermediate more than pro. They just call it pro because it's more. It's obviously a lot
For
hotter and
marketing.
spicier than
Right.
what non-pro is, right? But
Yeah.
it's not at the levels where now, like competitive level pro, the grade, the grade of materials that is now, like the workers of the world, the
Yeah, like
Langs of the world.
150 is not pro. Like I think super stock is a much better
Intermediate or super stock, yeah. Chat says, Big Lore says being an adult nerfer is the best.
I mean, it is. It's not without its problems.
Sure.
But it is pretty good as I stand here blasters, surrounded by blasters.
Right.
It is fun. But yeah.
I should have had a lot more show and tell, but this literally caught me off guard. Like I had to run to the laptop and turn everything on, and you just caught me right there.
No, we're 2 hours deep. We've done fine.
This is wonderful. This is it's good to catch up. It's a good way to catch up and actually have some face to face. I mean, I was thinking. I'm at this point. I'm like, now I'm holding out for your official birthday. We only have like
for us, not for him.
Oh no, for you. Well, it'll be in 3 minutes. It'll
birthday
officially be your birthday in Canada. So we'll celebrate your Canadian birthday. Maybe we'll sing you one more song and we'll call it a night.
It's only 60% of an American birthday these days with the exchange rate.
The exchange rates, that's right. In Canadian units. Builder BB, I bought a Fury X with the idea that there's going to be a reshell of its internals. You know what? That's a great point and a great idea. Like if I think of that's some good thinking. Because when I think of this, this is a Marcus's foam blasted, his reshell of the micro. I would love, I remember years ago, I kind of asked, well, why don't people do more reshells?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason was, printing was expensive. It took a long time to print a whole body.
Right.
But with bamboos, that's so much quicker now. So spending $14.
I was going to say, are these entry-level, cheap, but also high-powerful blasters?
Hardware kits almost.
Right, for $14.
That's a really cool
Speaking of Marcus, did you ever print any more of these?
Oh, this is one with the pump grip. I never did. I really should have just to have them in my collection.
So much fun.
The Scarab, I always had trouble dialing in the Scarab. It fired inconsistently for me, so I didn't really print a whole lot.
I remixed a version, I think it was a 1.5 or whatever, that had the trigger guard, and it was the handgun, or the pistol version, and it's because most people wanted that rail with the trigger guard, and the way that he has it is that it's smooth with a trigger guard or just a rail with no trigger guard. So I remixed a version that has a trigger guard and the rail. I don't have it with me now because every time I printed one, somebody would buy it. So
cool.
I haven't relisted these in a while though, but people like them. I think anything stringer, like the Satakieli from Lidl.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really cool one.
Lidl has his the groove that holds the dart and the pressure on the dart when you load it. He's got that nailed,
dialed in.
I think he has that dialed in more than anyone. That is the geometry of that pump action Lidl. There's a pump action carbine one that.
Lidl he has how many does he have? 15 of them now.
He's got a few, and he's got it figured out. They shoot every time.
They're really dialed in.
They're really you can point it down and the dart doesn't fall out. They're really good. They're really, really I like Marcus's stuff too, but I think he could still use a little bit more dialing in on that, where your dart is sitting when you load it from the mag. Because I would still have out of a mag, I'd have 2 or 3 jams every time probably. Foam blast.
There was a couple.
I agree. That looks great.
This is the Lanka, which you've had this one.
I've had that one. Yeah, the Lanka that's the only one of his that isn't always rock solid in its firing.
This was my favorite, the nail clipper, because it's a bullpup. It's got the cylinder in the back.
The nail clipper is very cool. I think my favorite one of his is probably the replicant.
Oh, I haven't printed that one yet.
You should print a replicant. So you slide this back. There's this. I have a little like a standing desk. I keep accidentally lowering it. So you slide this back, and you can rotate this cylinder and load in some darts, and it is just rock solid.
I like how it loads the cylinder from the bottom of the cylinder instead of from the top with the clipper.
Yeah, and check this out too. When you pull it back, if you can see, when you pull it back, it actually it opens up the chamber.
So you could actually load and go. Yeah.
It has a lock on it, so you can't accidentally fire it while you're loading it if you want. Like, that's just so, almost over designed, but it's so good.
These were really, really good when they first came out. Everybody wanted one of these. The Corsairs.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think the Corsair is probably still the one I sold the most of.
Yeah, Lidl has a lot of, I mean, stringers, they became popular really quick.
Yeah. And I mean, they're such a fun printing project because you don't have to have a bunch of hardware.
And then the micro reshells too, that was a big deal.
Yeah, Ren4657 says someone needs to make a reshell for the Menace. I agree, because the Menace is so close to the Micro 2. So this is a Micro 2, and a Menace almost fits.
It's like in between. It's between the Flux. It's between the Flex or the Flux, whatever it's called, and the Micro, right? The Menace is right in between. It's like the.
So it would be worth remixing. I was joking with Marcus. I'm like, I have a bunch of Menaces. You really should remix it just for people. But he's got his own projects. He did some nice stuff actually for the Fury X.
Hey, did you ever play with that solo that I gave you?
Do you want to know something? This is shameful because that was like a long time ago. Here it is in its box.
Yeah. I had a whole bunch that I bought when they were on sale. And I did like a long barrel on one of them, and I didn't like the performance because it just made the dart fly more erratic, but it was fun.
I would like to get one of Luchathor's mag kits for one. So I would like to get, if down in Maryland, if Out of Darts has stuff for sale, or maybe.
How did he pull that off? Did he just drill a chamber into the barrel?
I don't know. I think it's like a whole custom front on it.
Yeah, it's a whole mechanism.
I haven't really looked. I just know it looks neat. So, well, all right. I think we're gonna call this one. It's midnight. It's past midnight here in Canada.
Yep.
It's
happy Canadian birthday.
It's Not Nuff Nerf's Canadian birthday. You guys saw it here first. Happy birthday!
Thanks for having me on, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Well, that's good. Thanks for coming on. We will.
I know we said this 2 years ago, but we got to do this more often than 2 years.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we can do it for sure. I would like to at some point. I'd like, because this supports multiple guests. Like, it'd be nice to have a night where we have a couple different. We have a couple people on, have some chats. I think it would be a lot of fun. I saw a few people talking about Fortnite. It'd be fun to find a video game, whatever it is, and actually do some fun streaming that way, just as a good way to play together and hang out a little bit.
Yeah, like we used to do with the whatever happened to that Nerf game? Mobile.
It's still going.
Is it?
It's still going.
Those people
I'm at a level.
I don't know how they're surviving.
It's a shame because it's fun, and they made it impossible to level anything up.
Yes.
Without spending money. And I get that you want
the pay-to-play trap.
My goodness, I know you want to encourage people to spend money, but wouldn't you make more money by making it slightly more accessible? Yeah. Do you know at one point when Super Blast was going strong, Matt was one of the top 10 players in the world?
Yeah, at one point I went up to third, and that was tough to do, but then I got burned out of it because it's just repetitive. Yeah, it's such a grind doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it anymore.
They had a good idea. I wish it had been a little.
Not if you want to have a life, pay bills, that kind of stuff.
No, I don't really. I don't want to put metal worker Kunlun money into Nerf Super Blast. So.
Do you have a special fund for Metal Kunlun?
Maybe I should start.
Or maybe you could do like a GoFundMe.
Maybe some sort of divorce fund. I can just get started on that now in advance of my next marriage.
Right.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right, everyone. Thanks everyone who came and hung out. I really appreciate it. It was good to see all of you in the chat.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. We had fun.
Yeah. Thanks a ton. Not enough as always for hanging. We're looking forward to hanging out in person in Maryland. Getting some of that Applebee's quality time in.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
They
Oh
probably
my
won't
God.
be able to host all of us in one Applebee's though.
Oh my God.
At some point, we're gonna have to call and just shut the whole thing down.
Yeah, I need to put a bug in some people's ear. We need to figure out where we're gonna go eat because
That was a big stressor of you.
that was a big. So I don't like leaving people out. That's like a thing of like the thought of leaving people out makes me ill.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm down there and like all the people that we chat with all the time are like, where are you going for supper? I'm not going to be like, I'm not telling you. But it's just like, it's just logistically, it's a nightmare.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So we
I
lucked
like
out
that
last
one
year.
Irish pub we went to. That was cool too.
Yep.
Last year worked out
Great.
really well. So maybe it'll all just work out. We'll see.
All right.
My God. Andy Griff, where are we going Friday night? Oh my God. I just felt like that anxiety in my chest. You have no idea how many times people ask me, where are we eating? I almost had a panic attack about it. And I don't say that lightly.
It's
That's
cool.
hilarious.
It's cool that what Andy's coming for the first time this year. He didn't go last year, and I think you guys got some Canadian guys coming too. Jexstar and 01 Tech is coming too. So
Yeah.
Should be, yep.
Yeah. It's their first one for them. So yeah. Foam
are you guys doing like a 2-car convoy?
No, we're going separately because they got the big drive from Halifax to do as well. So it would be quite a car load. So I think Matt and I are just gonna try to leave at a time where we stay slightly more awake and safe than the last time we
Remember,
drove.
try to catch New York at a good time.
We'll try it. I'm sure we will hit it at 5 o'clock. just like
7 a.m. or 5 p.m.
Just like we always do.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, Colin Blake, how you doing, pal? Oh, he's like, I just got here. We've been here 2 hours. That's not on us.
Yeah, we went down to like 11 viewers, and now it's back to 20. It's like, gosh, you guys and your timing.
That's, people were like, they hung out for a bit. They went did something else. Now
They
they're
want
like,
the encore. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They want you to whoop out the Vulcan again.
Oh, I got so many chains. I am gonna whip it out again. I'm so happy. I'm doing it. Hold on.
He's doing it. He's really doing it.
I gotta practice loading it. I'm kind of slow.
Guys got a couple of rage fires on the roof too, on the ceiling.
Yep.
Got 1, 2. Oh, you got that what's that double barrel one?
Oh, the Rhino Fire. I think
The
I'm gonna
Rhino
try
fire.
to
I had
do
one
the
of those
Rhino
things.
Fire.
My
Here,
goodness.
Matt. All right, let's entertain the people. Fire some shots at my chest.
Oh, from over here.
Oh yeah, wherever. Drink it in. This is a 25 dart salute for Not Enough. That looks like it's gonna come right at my face. Oh. What do we do? You break it, Matt.
I don't know such thing.
He broke it.
Try that. Oh, there we go. Ow!
Hey, it's only 150, right?
150, but he's not very far away. Good times. All right. On that note of abuse, good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
We'll see you soon.